Hi everyone, so for my how-to video I will be showing you how to cast on and knit a scarf. This is the yarn that I am using. It is a medium sized yarn. The labeling on the back here, it says for medium, and right here it also says the type of crochet hook or needles you will need to use for this specific type of yarn. These are the needles that I'm using. As you can see, there are two different lengths depending on how long or how wide your scarf is going to be. This smaller one would be a smaller length scarf, whereas this wider needle is for a wider scarf. You also want to be cautious of what thickness needle you used with the yarn. If your needle is too thin, your scarf will be loose, and if your needle is too thick, your scarf will also be loose because your thread does not match with the thickness of the needle. So for this type of yarn, the medium thickness, you will need this is an 8mm thickness needle. Same with this. And it has the thickness right here, 8mm US yarn. So first you want to start with casting on. To cast onto your needle, you first have to make a slip knot. Here we have our yarn. I will hold mine like this, and I do a little V or X type shape, and then I grab the longest piece right through the middle like this, and I pull it tight, just like that. Take one needle, either one, doesn't matter, and you want to tighten your slip knot around your needle, like so. You don't want the slip knot too tight onto your needle, or you won't be able to get your second needle through the hole, but you also don't want it too loose because you'll have a messy scarf. So you pull it tight enough so that the second needle can go through, like so, and you just stick your second needle through your slip knot. See, mine's a little too tight. Loosen it, and you want to stick it through the bottom of your slip knot. So we have the blue needle going underneath the gold needle, like this. Then with your working yarn, which is connected to the little ball, you take your working yarn, and I want to show this. You will wrap it around this way through the center of the two needles. Right through the center. And with your blue needle, pull out and catch that yarn. So you just catch that yarn and you pull it all the way out, and you want to twist this yarn this way and put it back through with the gold, like so, and then you just pull it, and there you've just cast it on. One cast on right there, and you want to continue this with however many cast-ons you want to do. If you want to do 10, your scarf will be, this wide. Depending on how wide you want your scarf, you continue to cast on. So I pull my working yarn, which is connected to the ball. I pull it. Oops. put it through the second hoop, my working yarn, pull it around the underneath of the blue, through the middle of the 2 needles, and I catch that piece, pull it out like so, make sure you twist and put it through and pull out. So I will just keep going around, down the middle, take your blue needle, pull all the way out, put your gold needle through the middle, pull your blue needle out, and just pull it. You can see here we have 1, 2, 3 cast-ons. I will continue, pull all the way around, through the middle, pull it up, and around. I'll do a few and then I will show you the knit stitch. And the knit stitch you will take and you will create your scarf. It's the easiest stitch. There's a knit stitch and the purl stitch. Personally, the knit stitch is a lot simpler than the purl stitch. Continue. All right, I'll stop here. So we have our cast-ons. Let's begin the knit stitch. Take gold needle in the left hand, and just as if you were casting on, push it through the first cast on underneath the gold needle. It's always underneath the gold, like an X. Take your working yarn that's connected to the yarn ball, and you want to, same thing with the cast on, wrap it around the blue, through the middle, right through the middle, and you want to catch that yarn with your blue needle, and this time instead of pulling it up and going around the gold, you pull it up and you just slip it right off. Pull it tight. And you have that stitch now on the blue needle. You go through again, that second cast on, your blue needle goes underneath the gold, go around as if you were casting on, through the middle of the 2 needles, catch that working yarn, and slip it right off. Just like that. I'll do the rest of these. Through, underneath the gold, through the middle, catch that working yarn and slip it right off of the gold. Slip it right off. You don't want to keep your yarn too tight or you won't be able to get the needles through. Slip it off. Slip it right off, and then we're at our last cast on. Same thing. Through, around, down the middle of the 2 needles, catch with the blue, and slip it right off. Now we've moved all of our cast-ons onto the blue needle. Here, as you can see, it's starting to get form right here. And I actually missed a stitch. So now, when you miss a stitch, there'll be a hole in your scarf right here. And that's how you cast on and knit. Your scarf will eventually look like, I have a halfway finished piece right here. This has about 45 cast-ons. As you can see, this is the knit stitch. This is where we started. This is where our slip knot was. Now we're here. Go. And that's how you cast on and knit a scarf. Thank you.